Bride's unique gift to her groom on their wedding day moves everyone present to tears. Jennifer Darmon considered herself the luckiest person on earth until a misfortune incident took place in her life. She had a perfect job with a loving fiance. What more do you need to live your life blissfully? But one day everything changed. Her perfect life turned into a struggling one. The woman lost her legs while on a trip with her fiance. Their van collided with a car, and that left Jennifer paralyzed for her whole life. It was also a major emotional setback for Jennifer, but thankfully her fiancé Mike stood by her even when she was not able to stand on her feet. Mike, who loved her above all the abilities and disabilities, proposed her for marriage. The woman said yes and began to prepare for her special day. She decided to give her would-be groom the best surprise of his life, and she does so that brings tears not only in Mike's eyes, but each and every person witnessing the moment. Jennifer Darmon became a bride, but not a usual one. The woman was finally getting married to her fiancé, Mike Belowitz. She was deeply in love with him and so wanted their wedding day to be very, very special. The woman had started planning the day from the time Mike popped up the question to her. Like every other woman on earth, she had a lot of expectations from her wedding day. Their love story began in 2006. Jennifer Darmon used to work as a teller in the Bank of Windsor, Canada. This was the same bank where Mike used to go. According to Mike, it was love at first sight. He felt attracted to her the very moment he laid his eyes on her. Mike, who is shy by nature, began to frequent the bank thrice a week. Till then, Jennifer had no idea that she was the sole reason why Mike kept coming back to the bank. Clearly, he was head over heels in love with her and wanted to know more about that girl. That is the reason he continued hitting the bank even though he did not need to. So what attracted him the most about the girl? Obviously, she's a very, very pretty girl, which was the main attraction, explained Mike. He continued, that is the thing that kept me going to the bank. The woman, too, had started taking a liking to him, and that is the reason why she said yes when he asked her out for a date. Their first date went awesome, and after that they went on many dates that only made them sure about their feelings for each other. Soon they became one of the cutest couples in the town. They would never miss out on an opportunity of spending time with each other. Life had never been so beautiful to them. Mike had even planned their future, but life has a bad habit of surprising you. They had many things in common, and one of them was that both of them loved to go on adventurous trips. So the two went on an adventurous trip when life hit them really hard. The couple was driving to their destiny when a car collided with their van. Luckily, there was no loss of life. Still, all the occupants of the van managed to get out of the van except for Jennifer. When everyone was out, Mike looked for Jennifer, but she was not around. It was then he looked inside the damaged car and found Jennifer struggling. The man noticed that Jennifer was not able to pull her legs up in order to climb out of the window. Jennifer tried hard to emerge out of the van, but she could not. Though Mike, being a paramedic, knew how to help her out of the car, he grabbed her arms and pulled her out. However, it was after touching her spine he realized what exactly had gone wrong with her. Thereafter, Mike took Jennifer to the hospital. Jennifer had to stay in the intensive care unit for a week. Then she was told that the nerves of her spinal cord had gotten so damaged that it was now impossible to repair them. It was one of the worst cases doctors had ever dealt with. Jennifer reminisces, "I couldn't feel my legs." She continued, "I went into hysterics. I was screaming and crying and not really knowing what was going on." And Mike stood rooted to the spot when doctors informed him about Jennifer's disability. The fact that the experts were unsure about her regaining her strength ever again was heartbreaking. No need to say it was very difficult for Jennifer to accept the fact that she would never be able to move her legs again. Jennifer underwent several surgeries to fix her disability, but unfortunately, no fruitful result was procured out of them. Not only did she go under the knife many times, but she also undertook 3-hour physical therapy sessions. Jennifer had to go from Windsor to Detroit to take part in the Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan. It used to take about 45 minutes to reach the venue from Windsor. Even though the journey was quite long and tiring, Mike would accompany her every time she would go there. He never left her alone. Mike loved her unconditionally. Jennifer did not want him to suffer with her, and so even advised him to leave her. However, Mike denied. I told him a few times, you don't have to stay if this is something you don't think you want in your life for the rest of your life, she explained. I figured that I would spare him. Every cloud has a silver lining. Though the accident was the most tragic thing ever happened to them, it also brought some important lessons to the couple. The accident made me realize that if there is something you want to do it while you can, Mike said. If you have people close to you, let them know. That is how their 4 years passed, struggling and hoping. Mike only kept falling for her in all these years. It was high time he decided to pop the question to her. She said yes with tears in her eyes. Though she knew he loved her, she never had thought that the man would marry her owning her disability. The man had surprised her with his loyalty and love, and now it was her turn to surprise him. They fixed the date and began to prepare for their special day. The woman wanted to walk down the aisle on her own, but how was that going to happen? She did not want her disability to ruin her day. She wanted to be the happiest day of her life. She decided to ditch the wheelchair that reminded her of disability every day. She did not know how she was going to pull it off without the wheelchair, but she had decided anyway. She was determined and hopeful, she said. It's absolutely going to happen. Jennifer said, picturing your wedding, you don't picture rolling down the aisle. You picture the walk with your dad. It's the most important thing. I will be walking down the aisle. It's not an if or a maybe. It's absolutely going to happen, she added. She had made up her mind, and now there was no going back. Jennifer began to attend her physical therapy appointments with more determination and strength. She started doing more hard work than she used to during her previous sessions. She was giving her best, and that is the reason the hospital stated that Jennifer has the highest attendance rate in comparison to other patients. But it was to see if her resolution was going to bring any fruitful result. It was her wedding day, and so naturally she was very happy. But the question was, how was she going to walk down the aisle on her own feet? If you too are wondering how she was going to walk down the aisle on her own, then you are in for a big surprise just like her groom. Mike was standing on the dais right before the father and then his bride came. Everyone stood up, not only in respect but in surprise too. The bride was walking on her feet. She was walking beside her father and brother. The moment took many people by surprise. There were some who had tears in their eyes, the tears of happiness and joy. What made the moment more memorable was the song Walk With You by Edwin McCain that was playing in the background. Everyone turned back to see the bride coming in. It was a breathtaking moment. It was a historical moment for everyone who attended the wedding. It was going to linger on in their mind for many years. So what was the reaction of Mike? Though you don't need any reason to love someone, Jennifer's hard work and determination made him love her even harder. He kept looking at her, all surprised. She had made him proud. Jennifer claimed it's so nice for everyone to see the end result. She also shared what her husband said. He said that he is very proud of his wife. The first of its kind wedding took place at Mackenzie Hall in Windsor, Ontario. The place was crowded with the pair's kin and kith. Jennifer had braces under her wedding gown to give her support while she was walking. After exchanging the vows, Mike took her in his arms. It was a heart-melting sight. Jennifer gave the guests one more surprise when she asked Mike to dance with her at the reception. They even made a video of that amazing wedding that received about 350,000 views and many likes. In no time, their wedding went viral. Not only that, many people even shared their opinion about the video. Many viewers had tears in their eyes when they saw the video. Here are some amazing comments. An old man commented, "The two of you made this 76-year-old man cry with joy for the both of you. Wonderful love story." The comment itself showed how moved the commenter is by this video. There were many more YouTubers who expressed their view. Another YouTuber made a very sensible and heart-touching statement. It said, "I just saw your story on the news. You truly have everything that you need, each other." There were many more comments on the same line. Their love story underwent a beautiful turn when they learned that they are pregnant. Within a year of their marriage, Jennifer gave birth to her daughter, Alyssa.